All right. You've read the title. We have got to save Leonard. General Radahn is not being very nice to Leonard. He's not got Leonard in a very good situation, taking him into battle and having him carrying him around afflicted by scarlet rot for America knows how long, and it's up to us to save him. And so the rules for this run are basically we're going to try to be as vegan as possible. We're not going to we're not going to kill any animals, and we're going to try to avoid fighting as much as possible, I guess. Somewhat pacifist, that's a very loose rule, but no animals. That means we can't kill Renala right off the bat because we can't get past the red wolf, and we can't hit Leonard. That's probably going to be the toughest thing for me is fighting Radahn without hitting Leonard. So we're either going to have to be like really picky and careful about our melee attacks, or we're going to have to figure something out with that. Hopefully, I didn't really plan that out too much. I was hoping somebody would hop in hop in the chat and have some ideas. I mean, I guess I have some ideas, but I'm really unfamiliar with all the various projectiles in the game. And then another rule is I'm thinking no Leonard, because if our character is a vegan, I don't think he should be riding a horse. I don't think he should be riding Torrent if he doesn't have to. So he can't be taking Torrent into harm's way. We can't be doing that if that's what we're mad at Radahn for. So that's going to be another big part of this run. Is it's going to be kind of slow because of all the running around. So yeah, let's hop right in. And I feel like there's really only one way to go as for starting class, and that's going to be Wretch, because it's pretty safe to assume that there's no animal products in their clothing or weapon choice. And, because we can clearly see leather on the pouch of the astrologer, the tunic or vest of this bandit on the cuirass and cuirass, and the gauntlets of the warrior. And I'm not sure I see any leather. I don't know what this like gambeson material here is made of. I'm not sure gambeson was made out of leather, though. It could be. If that's what, I think that's what it's called. And the rope's probably made out of some sort of plant fiber. The vagabond might be an option for a plant-based starting class, actually. But with textiles, it can be kind of tough to know unless it's specifically stated. I know I see some leather here. That seems to be pretty clearly leather. But on leather goods, I'm not actually a vegan. I consider myself somewhat of an animal rights activist. I've been an animal care professional for most of my adult life, so I know a lot about animals, hence why I'm wanting to talk about animal stuff in video games and whatnot. But as far as being vegan goes, a lot of it has to do with buying leather, the consumption of like leather goods. But once the goods exist, they can last a long time, and especially if you take well care of them. So vegans seem to have pretty mixed feelings on the use of existing leather. And I know that they make leather out of cows that have already shed their mortal coil. If you want to see one of the most disgusting episodes of the show Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, there's an episode where that's basically what they do, is make leather from cows that have already passed. So, and it involved them going to the farms and like winching these carcasses onto a truck, and it was a rough episode of Dirty Jobs. Like, there's a lot of rough episodes of Dirty Jobs, but that one stands out. I wonder if you were to ask him if he would say that. Like, it was brutal. Working with animals, I've been around a lot of gross stuff that most people don't have a frame of reference for, and that is wild. That's pretty crazy. You want to see something gross, go watch that episode of Dirty Jobs. But so, having leather doesn't necessarily, especially like with our player character, I guess it could be debatable as to whether or not they would use leather goods, because there's an argument to be made with using animal products about necessity, and we're in a dangerous place, and we're going to be like, if we start off as a wretch, we're going to be in the nude. So it seems like we wouldn't be too picky about the material, and I think that falls into the realm of necessity, unless we're more of like a religious zealot type vegan character, which, you know what? I think that's in the spirit of what we're going for. But also with some of the textiles on these, you never know. Like, I don't know if it specifically states what the prophet's robe is made out of, but I think it describes it as like scratchy and painful to wear. Maybe that was a cut content description, but that doesn't, it seems likely it'd be made out of some sort of plant fiber, but it could also be made out of like untreated wool or something like that. I've heard like the wool socks are pretty scratchy and uncomfortable, and especially like rougher examples of like old hand spun thread and all that stuff, and before mechanized processes for creating quality textiles, wool could be probably quite scratchy and uncomfortable to wear. We'd have all sorts of various chemical processes we treat wool with now, because there's like resources on the wool itself that we use, like lanolin. Lanolin is a plant-based, is a wool-based wax. That might not be the word for it, but it's found in a lot of lotions. I think it's found in like some diaper creams and stuff, and it's honestly like magic. I lived somewhere really, really cold, feet of snow on the ground, and my skin, my like knuckles would crack, and like my skin would dry out and stuff, and I was having problems with that, and just from how cold it was and how, I don't know, but I had to figure something out, and I learned lanolin, and I went and got some like diaper rash ointment that had like a high percentage of lanolin in it, because it, like all the hand creams and stuff with lanolin in it were expensive and didn't have like a lot, but I found like diaper cream had like a high percentage and a low cost, and it was like magic. It like fixed my hands in no time. So I'm like a believer in it, but also at the same time, the wool industry is incredibly cruel, especially like at scale. You see these videos posted by these animal rights groups and stuff, like undercover videos, and you'll read the comments and people will be like, that's fake. That's all fake. They staged it. And if you've worked around animals long enough, especially if you've been in a wide variety of places, you realize that they don't really have to fake that stuff. Like, there's this. I'm trying to be really careful about how I talk about this stuff because it gets really grim. And this is like what I want to do with this channel is approach some pretty grim topics. But in a more approachable way. But like this example, and this is what you run into all the time. Talking about animals, especially animal issues, in these popular spaces is really tough. PETA gets a lot of hate, but it's actually pretty incredible what they've managed to build. Like they have a lot of supporters. Like they have even more haters, and there's a lot of money in being a hater against PETA, and yet they still get millions of dollars every year, so they're doing something right. And I don't hate PETA. Maybe we can talk more about PETA on this. I know I could just sit here and talk about animal stuff for forever. Like just digging in, we can see just how digging into the materials of and we could even dig into, why and what certain things would be made of and how it could possibly tie into the lore. Now that I said that, I feel put on the spot and I'm pulling a blank, but there's like a lot of details here, and there's like a lot of real life history to dig into with textiles and stuff. You could dig into it infinitely, and it's not really my thing, but I think for the spirit of what we're going for, we got to pick the wretch class. And I've also kind of decided that I usually build like all my builds on Elden Ring have basically been like the same gal. My name is Mac, so I typically name my characters Macula, but for this one, I think we need to do yes, that. But obviously that doesn't fit. Vegan senpai. And that she gets a lot of hate. And I don't hate her. I think she's funny. She's guilty of being cringe. That's about it. Like I said, I don't want to get too bogged down on like grim stuff, but a lot of like what she says isn't like wrong. People just don't like hearing it, or they don't like her saying it. And then even on being cringe, like, yeah, like nobody likes that, but also people do like that. The Office is about like has like a cringe main character. Like that's like part of it, is that locking the audience into that feeling of cringe, and people like it. And then also with we're a lot more forgiving as a society of like people's quirks and stuff, and their eccentricities, and a lot of that is cringe. Like that's all it ever was cringe, and people used to be bullied and berated for stuff, and we're a lot more accepting of these less popular ideas and aesthetics and stuff, nerd culture, I don't know, like things like that. And like being cringe isn't necessarily the worst thing. And if that's like the worst that vegan teacher is really guilty of, she's not so bad. Like she's not my favorite or anything, but I think she's really funny, and I think that she's a well-intentioned person, and I think it's a lot grosser the hate she gets. Like if you ever catch her live streaming or something, you can go in and it's just people spamming the meat emoji and just like say that's on every vegan thing, and that's so toxic and gross. Like I'm not a vegan. This is kind of a weird playthrough for like a not vegan person. There are a couple of people who've done vegan playthroughs. There's like a guy who did like a vegetarian craftsman build character, and I think there was a guy there's a channel called Plant-Based Playthroughs, I think it is, who did a vegan playthrough, but I didn't like watch it. I checked it out like yesterday as like I googled Elden Ring vegan. I also noticed that PETA did an Elden Ring video when it first launched, and there was a couple of like drama farmers who covered that. And the PETA Elden Ring video was actually pretty funny. I thought it was, people are going to hate on PETA no matter what they do, and that one was pretty funny. It was like you can check out the wildlife, and they have like their shield up. Yeah, and so we're doing something like that, kind of like the vegan, the Elden Ring vegan PETA thing, and on PETA's video game stuff, people act like they're always attacking them, and that's not the case. I don't know if I'm too far or too close from my microphone. Last time I like heard it, I felt like I was a little bit close, but I turned my gain down. But with PETA, like one of the ones that stands out to me was them talking about Animal Crossing, and one of their, it was like a criticism of Animal Crossing was the use of a doghouse that had a chain on it. And I agree with PETA on that. Like they weren't berating Animal Crossing, but they did say something like, "Oh, dogs don't need to be on chains. You know, we're all playing Animal Crossing, and just like remember that this is like a real thing that animals face." And you know, PETA actually does a lot of work to try to have laws passed in different places to get dogs off of chains. And chains aren't the totality of the issue, but our expectation as a society for the treatment of animals tends to look at animals on tethers and chains and not like it, especially if they are on it 24/7. And that tends to be how the laws are written anyway. But some places it is illegal and some places it's not. I worked in dog sled racing, which PETA is against, and rightfully so, and they're doing good work. That's what got me to come around on PETA, was working in dog sled racing. And the kennel I worked in would have been illegal if it were across the street. And like that's just literally how the laws work. We had 40 dogs living on chains, and across the street it literally would have been illegal and an animal welfare violation. And so there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it. And even when like I've seen multiple cases of dogs living on chains illegally in places, and the cops going out and the animal control going out and like being like, well, you know, they said they take them in sometimes, right? It's like, okay. Yeah, I've seen that before, and it drives people nuts. Like if you go around and talk to people, you'll hear those stories. And I've seen it with my own eyes. So yeah, like this is very real. So like PETA being like, you know, dogs don't need to be on chains, like it's real. And it's an issue that's like close to me. I used to work in a field full of dogs on chains every day, and I'm just, you either decide, yeah, you know, this isn't as bad as people say or those people think, or you'd be like, yeah, this actually is as bad as people say. So, and I went with that one. I was like, oh, this is worse. This is worse than what most people would think is going on. So I'll quit rambling and continue with the play. Like I said, I could sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours about my experiences with animals and stuff. So I need to try to find a way to channel that into something productive. And that's what this stream is an attempt at. And so I feel like the only real choices here, it can't be prawns. That's not vegan. I feel like the seed's the obvious answer. You know, if we're vegan, we're gonna need our. I imagine a golden seed would be high in like omega-3s or in essential micronutrients that we might need. I don't know if we actually eat those things. Seems like you put them in the flask maybe, but that I'm not so sure about cracked pots. I haven't checked all the recipes. I don't know how many consumables I'll be using because some of the ingredients definitely aren't vegan friendly. Would like the blood tinged excrement and the gold tinged excrement, I mean, it's an animal product, but also it's implied to be alive, right? Like it says it never loses its warmth or whatever. Does it possess a degree of sentience? And see, here's where we're getting into like the interesting lore speculation with this run that I think all the other people sorely miss, is because when we look, without doing too many spoilers, or I think I can avoid spoilers. If you've watched the trailers, you've seen this, the pots, and so there seems to become some sort of connection to the Shadowlands and the lands between, and like things being undead and like existing, like maybe like a physical form and a corporeal form or something like that is going on. And so what does that mean to make consumable items out of like undying excrement made out of undying flesh? But yeah, it's an animal product. I don't think I don't think we should be using. I think some of the, like I said, I would have to pull up. I don't do a lot of crafting anyway. The only crafting I think I would need is like sleep pots, because I'm not good at the Godskin duo. But are we even going to take this run past Radahn? I don't even know. So I don't think I would need to be doing any of that. So Keepsake is definitely probably going to be. It can't be the Bewitching Branch either, because that doesn't seem vegan. I don't even know the recipe right offhand, but like stabbing other people and commanding them to do things like roofing people doesn't seem vegan. Seed. And then now we just need to do a little bit of character customization. Which one sounds like that vegan teacher? That's it. That's it. Is that the vet? Did that vegan teacher do voice acting on this? It's not that. Yeah, no, it's definitely that one. Which one was it? Did I do first? Yeah, it's that one. That's definitely it. All right. And the haircut's basically already there. We're already basically there. We just need to change the hair color and dial in the face a little bit, and it's that vegan teacher. Um, we'll lighten her skin tone a little bit. She's older, fair skin lady. I know I shouldn't be doing vegan people dirty like that and like making them pale and skinny and stuff, but I'm gonna make just a little bit of fun of that vegan teacher. I mean, I can't make her like a goat. Well, that's like more blue. So we're just gonna lighten up her skin tone just like some. All right. And she's got like gray hair. Like I think she dyes it, but okay, so she dyes it, so we're gonna go dark roots. And you know, that vegan teacher has kinder looking eyes, and I feel like in this I think I don't know if I've ever seen like a profile shot of that vegan teacher, but she, this lady doesn't have much of a jaw at all. Her chin is like not there. I really am not a character creator guy. And now we'll just pick the one that we think looks most like her. I feel like she had like she's got sort of like more pronounced cheekbones like that, not like a more narrow. It's like daunting. Some people I see these like streamers like spend time in the character creator, and I don't know what color her eyes are. Do I need to look that up for real? I can't even tell. I'm not about to Google that vegan teacher's eye color. But like looking at these, I just can't even tell. How are we doing? I mean, like, we're pretty close. She's got like a more pronounced like chin. And I can't tell what color her eyes are. We're gonna make them because since I can't tell what color they are, she's got brown eyes. And then We got to try to get that chin. That's like her defining feature. Because we don't need that yet. Face structure. Chin. Chin position? Protrusion. It's got a lot. Huh. Okay. Chin depth. I've never thought about how deep. Oh, there we go. I mean, if we're trying to be accurate, I feel like we're more. I don't know. I feel like once I did that, it messed up what I had with the face. See, she looks so much angrier now. Chin length. That long chin. Yep, let's just max it all out. Chin size. Jaw width. I feel like she had a good jaw. Wait, what the hell? It's all hiding behind the hair. I can't really tell. Jaw contour. Okay. I don't know how much closer I can get. She's a skinny little lady. And she films herself singing a lot, so we'll give her a big head. I know I keep doing her dirty like that, even though I keep saying she's not like that bad. All right. Why? Elden Ring's not letting me do her dirty like that. All right. I do the same character on basically everyone. I think I already said that. Okay. That vegan teacher locked in. Vegan senpai. Oh, I don't have my audio on. It won't let me move my mouse. There we go.
Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Chieftain of the Badlands.
That the way Sirash is like positioned, and that is so weird. And even when you zoom in on it and lighten up the image, it's really kind of hard to tell what's going on. I kind of already cursed this stream. I totally forgot that. Like, whenever I was talking about the excrement being vegan or not, I didn't even think about the dung eater. So, no. I think that's a check in the box of the side of it, like, not being vegan in the lanes between. Dang.
And one other, whom grace would again bless, a tarnished of no renown. Cross the fall to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
All right. Haven't played in a while. I'm a little rusty. And I'm not very good anyway. I've kind of tried some challenge runs, but I'm not very good. And I've never been able to beat the... Do I even try? Do I even try to fight the Grafted Scion? I mean, like, because my character... If my character's a vegan and trying to be a pacifist, does... I guess it depends on... I mean, I guess our character wouldn't know they're there. So it would just be a matter of self-defense. And right now, like, that vegan teacher is just admiring that America statue. That's what's going on. And like that lovely tree. Oh, wow. Look at the view. That vegan teacher is a lovely lady. She's like, it's a bit brisk out here. I wish I had some plant-based clothing to cover myself. Oh, my Lanta. What is that? There's nowhere to run. All my exits are sealed. I have no choice but to fight. Oh my gosh. And then she gets wrecked. Does that count as a death? Do people usually count that? I have music in my ears. So that if you see me bob in my head, I don't have it going through the stream. And then, with
Don't worry, Torrent.
I know I said that riding horses isn't okay, and we see Melina riding
We found her.
Torrent, but she's like talking to Torrent, and it almost seems like Torrent led Melina here, which is interesting. But also we see
One of her kind is sure
it seems like
Elden ring.
I wasn't paying too much to the tax situation on...
The Golden Order.
Well, now I feel like I gotta look that up. Dang, I've already derailed the stream. Okay, so like tack is what you call like the equipment you outrig like horses in, like all the straps and halters and stuff. Like the place of the barn, in the barn where you store equipment is called the tack room. The store where you buy, it's called a tack shop. And tack. So let's take a look real quick at that. And if these are Crimson Tears vegan? I'm assuming they're... This probably isn't a healthy question to be asking at the beginning of the stream. Let's just... let's just assume they're tree derived for now, and we don't know what that could or could not mean. I mean, if theories abound about what the Erd tree actually is, and the shadow tree, the tree from the trailer, that tree didn't seem particularly vegan either. So if these are derived from that, or some sort of process involving that, they most certainly wouldn't be vegan. But our character doesn't know that. And if they are tree derived, I think there's no reason for us to think we can't use tear. This would be I could actually probably manage it okay, but it would be even slower and tougher going. Being made of paper mache and getting melted in one hit by everything. Oh yeah, we were looking at tack. How do I even... Let's see. Bring up my ad-free window.
We found him here, after all.
I watched this not that long ago. It was already playing in the middle. But I wasn't looking at the tack. We actually see a good bit. I don't know if we see a good bit or a bad bit. I don't know if we see a bit at all. And speaking of bit, I guess I should tell you guys what a bit is. A bit is a piece of metal that you put into a horse's mouth. And they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. And it's a pain device. It's a device used, it causes pain and force in the horse's mouth to control the horse. So they come in a huge variety, and some of them are just like they use different. Here's a picture of like a bunch of different ones, and when it's longer, it has like more leverage on it. This is like the thing that the reins are hooked to. So whenever you see like a person riding a horse, and they have the reins in their hand, you can see their hand here, just out of frame, and they're holding the reins, and it's connected directly to a piece of metal that's levered in some cases. See it, you pull on it, and it torques this shape and puts pressure on the inside of their mouth. And so your hand, when you're horse riding and you're holding reins, is pretty powerful. So like yanking on reins, like if you see someone yanking on reins, especially if they're using some sort of like a bit or aggressive bit, it's like you have to understand what's going on with that horse up in its face. And most people just don't really know that stuff. And then even among horse riders, there's a lot of varying varying ideas on like what is. Everybody thinks they have this called soft hands. Everybody thinks they have the softest hands. But also, you know, the whole archetype of like the rough and tumble cowboy, tough guy, you know, the big man, the stallion while taming the horse. So there is this line of like being tough on horses. And you've seen it in media, and you can hear the stories and stuff. So that's what we're looking for with... we're not going to get, he's not going to like open his mouth and like show us, but, you know, the reins are taut. It looks like they're putting some pressure on it, but this could just be like the horse, like adjusting. But if they have a bit in their mouth and if they're moving their mouth a lot, that it's causing that they're... And some people say, oh, my horse just likes to tongue the bit and stuff. Like there's all sorts of... Here's a bit that looks like a gun. I was talking about the rough tumble cowboy thing. And here, let me put this piece of metal that looks like a gun in my horse's mouth. I love my horse so much. I want to put this in their mouth. Okay. But we see, okay, so what am I talking about? Like, and like, why does this even matter? Horse bit and mouth anatomy. But you don't need a bit. There's people who ride with nothing but a rope halter, which nothing goes in the horse's mouth. It involves having to train the horse more and like having to work with the horse and know the horse more. It can be more slow and time consuming. And then there's like competitions that like require bits, like to understand the culture of like what's going on in the equine community. People are like, well, you got to have that piece of metal in the horse's mouth. How are you going to control the horse if you ain't got a piece of metal in his mouth? Like, that's basically what it is. But it's like, are we training horses or are we like making them do stuff through pain and force? So, yeah, you don't need a bit. You don't need to put a piece of metal in the horse's mouth and yank on the inside of their mouth. Like, does this look good for a horse? Is this like this is normal? Like, we see this. There's infinite pictures like this in videos. You can see it all the time. If you start looking at horses, especially like in like when the queen passed away, like there were all the people around the palace, the queen's guard, like the parade and stuff. There's like a lot of horses there. You can like see, like you can like look at the horses and you're like, dang, man, I don't think I'd want to be one of those horses. And people say, oh, well, when they're not working, they're living the dream. You should see the farm. It's like, man, like they don't. We see a nice multi-million-dollar farm with fancy barns and stuff, but like that, I mean, like a horse doesn't care how nice a barn is. A horse doesn't like care to be in a barn at all, usually, unless it's like raining or like the weather's bad or something. And then even then, like there's like setups where I'm derailing the conversation too much. Like I said, I could talk about this forever. I feel like Elden Ring, I feel like video games and stuff are like an interesting way to look at it. But you don't need a bit. I thought I just went back. And there's like different kinds of bit that don't have shanks at all. And then there's these ones that are made out of rubber. So like no metal or like less metal. So like people are aware of like how hard it is on a horse. But like, so this one has like a lot of leverage, but it goes to, which seems like a pretty big thing to have in a horse, whatever, but I'm not a horse. But I think that's better than like the metal thing with a shank. It's all debatable. But you don't need any of it. You don't need gadgets and doodads and stuff to ride a horse. And like, interestingly enough, in the we see Torrent and what appears to be Mikola riding side saddle on, and there isn't a saddle on Torrent. And he doesn't appear to have on a halter or a bit or any reins or anything. You don't need anything to ride a horse. It really comes down to saddles are good for horses. Like if you're riding, I think most people I think there's not a lot of benefit to riding horses. I don't think people should be like interested in that. I think there's a lot of harm that comes from the ride giving industry and the horse trade. And I'm sure I'll talk about it more if I continue doing this streaming series. But there's not a lot of good that comes out of it, out of these various horse industries and stuff. So in general, I encourage people to not be interested in riding horses. But like if you are riding horses, like saddles, distribute your weight more, and it's important to have a well-fitted saddle to distribute your weight. And then like this image, like knowing about horses and stuff, leads. I mean, knowing a little bit. I'm not a horse expert or anything. I know the basics, and I can like take care of a horse. I know when they're sick and stuff. Like I can, yeah. I mean, I could like, yeah. I can do basic training and riding and horse care. I wouldn't consider myself like any sort of horse expert or anything, but like, I have a theory about Mikola, which I said this wasn't going to be like a theory or lore video. I have a theory on Mikola with that he almost experimented on Torrent, and that gets into why I don't like Radahn. We only see 2 demigods that have steeds, as far as I know, and that's Mikola and Radahn. And we see with Radahn's character, he's like stubbornly holding on to his relationship with Leonard. I mean, yeah, with Leonard, and it's bad. It's bad for Leonard. We see Leonard in horrible shape. He's been wandering around the desert with Radahn on his back for America knows how long, and out of all the horses we see in Elden Ring, he seems to be in among the worst shape. There are like it's up for debate as to whether or not the like undead and like rotting horses we see are like in better condition and live a better quality life than Leonard, who has one of the royal family demigods as his supposed beloved owner. And we see this in real life with like animal hoarders, people who hoard animals. I don't know if I should pull up a picture of that or not. It's usually like a misguided affection that keeps people holding on to these animals in situations that are clearly bad for them. So, with Radahn, that's basically what we're seeing, right? We're seeing him. Oh, he loves his horse, but he's like taking it into battle, and it's clearly not like it clearly wasn't a good path for that horse. There's clearly an element of selfishness to Radahn's affection. And in opposition to that, we see Mikola's relationship with Torrent, but Torrent's with us and Melina, and that might be out of Mikola's control, but I don't really have any reason to assume that's the case. And these horns are weird. I never noticed. I noticed the horns. Like obviously, I noticed the horns, but I never gave it that much thought because it's like a fantasy game, and you can hand wave it away. But when it was Emerald Gecko's Mikola's Torrent video, I think, and he pointed out that somebody pointed out that Torrent looks like a Shetland pony. And I was like, dang, I guess he does. And that is really interesting when paired with Mikola, whose whole character is this like eternal fake youth. And that's basically like what a Shetland pony is, like a miniature horse. And they're small. They're small boys. Shetland ponies are small, but they like stay small for a long time. And if Mikola was small, did Torrent used to be small? Did Torrent used to be like a little boy, and now he's a big boy? Is that what happened? And so what I'm saying is, like, I look at this and it seems like maybe he wasn't prepared. Like, would Mikola have normally put tack on? I kind of don't get the vibe he would have, but like based on this image, but like it seems like this could be when, and in the full image, is this the full image? I don't know. I feel like there's a version where we see. I think I might have it on my hard drive somewhere. Was it in the contest stuff? Bear with me. I'm not very organized. Is it one of these? Oh, I was wrong. I feel like there's maybe that's from the trailer where we come through. There's like a ball of light here. So that was a wild goose chase. But it doesn't, I don't see like a halter or anything, which is what I was getting at. Is that it seems like maybe Mikola kind of like if this is when Mikola first arrived in the lands between, like he would have. So we see Radahn like stubbornly hanging on to his horse, and then with Mikola, it seems like almost like he cast away Torrent. Is kind of like what I'm getting at, and maybe he almost. It kind of seems to me like he would have wanted to test what he was going to do on himself before he went to the Shadowlands, because this stream is pre DLC, so we don't really know how all that works, and it might not tell us anyway. And so it seems like Mikola would have wanted to test out whatever he did to get to the Shadowlands himself. So if these omen horns are what like makes me think about that, because like Mikola needed. Are these omen horns? They look like omen horns. Like if you look at the omen horns, they have that, I don't know the term for it, the like ridges on the horns, which are like the you see them on like sheep and goats and stuff, because like cows have like smooth horns. I totally lost what I was doing. Oh, omen horns. They have this like, I don't think that's official. You can see it like he's got these like ridges on his horns. And that's what you see with the horns that are on Torrent. And I don't know what that means. Like they're just not like malformed, and they're like in a place that normally you might see horns, but they're not on an animal that would normally have horns. And if Torrent was formerly a tiny little pony, like a Shetland pony, I think that's pretty interesting. Like maybe he that's like a side effect of him blooming into like a version of himself that like doesn't exist normally. But yeah, and it makes sense that a Shetland pony would be associated with Mikola, as they're both like eternally juvenile, right? Like seeming. So yeah, that was basically it. But we don't see tack here, and then back we'll go. That's what we were looking. We were looking at the tack to see if there's a bit in his mouth, and I think there is. And the further back in like our time, like in real life, like people, it gets rough. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like that that loop looks weird, but you don't see his like lip curling up. It could just be like uh I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It kind of seems like there's some sort of like bit implied by this here. But also like in general, like it's not like it's a pretty average like utilitarian setup. Like I think there's like a mentality that some people are like, you don't need any metal, like any metal near your horse. Like you don't need any metal in your horse's mouth, on your horse's face, on their feet. And I mean, that makes sense, right? Like they don't need that in nature, right? So like I vibe with that a lot. And then like, you know, horseshoes are like, you like nail those into their feet. And the only reason you would need to shoe a horse is if they're walking on terrain that they shouldn't be, or like they're working so much that it might wear their hoofs out, so you're like putting something on to keep that. Like the implications of like why and when you would need to shoe like aren't so good when you could just like keep them, when you could just like not do that, right? And yeah, it's like really rough on them, and it can be painful, and they have a lot of farriers or have different mentalities than others. Some of them are really patient and take the time to work with the horse and stuff, and some of them are more like grab the horse and stuff, because you can do that. I mean, you can like manhandle a horse. I've done it. Like a lot of people, you know, like haven't ever been around a horse. And whenever I was a kid, I used to be really scared of horses, but now I'm not. I mean, it kind of work. It's kind of better to be near them, honestly. Like especially if you're like worried about it. Like if you're unless it's like if it's like trying to spin around and kick you, the safest place to be is like right next to it, because they can't like get you. But it doesn't seem like he has shoes. I mean, I don't see a shoe, but he's like, there could be like silt. This was like a long stun lock, but this is basically the ultimate stun lock. Like that's kind of like what I want out of these streams, is to get stun locked.
Fortune is on his side.
Me ranting is kind of the point, really.
Found him here.
Not so much playing. Okay, so we were just looking at the tech. What else do we got? But we see Mikola not using any tech. But a saddle's probably welcome. It's probably good for Torrent's back. I don't think we see anything else in that cutscene. All right, vegan senpai. It's this stream's been going for over an hour, and we haven't even we haven't even started. No. Okay, so what does the item description say? Golden holy chalice that was once graced by a tear of blessing. That's ambiguous. And so we're just gonna go. We're gonna use the flask. I want the flask. I want the flask. I haven't really gotten used to pouching my, which I'm not gonna do that actually. I'm gonna, and then pouch that guy. No, but I want that here. And I don't think I should go in the hole, because we're pacifist. And I don't remember if there's any wolves down there. I don't think there's any animals down there. Are the tree spirits? I mean, if I have to ask, it's probably like a, yeah, like I should leave the tree spirit alone. It's just being a tree spirit. But the ulcerated tree spirits, I guess you could make an argument that the ulcerated tree spirits are suffering. Maybe. Before I open this door, I just want to point out that this door kind of like irks me a little bit because like in the chapel of anticipation, it's got this like big creaky like brrr, like door, and you open it up and it's like gray and dreary and there's like nothing. And then you open up this door and it's this like it's like this unceremonious like chunk. And then this is when you get the view, and that almost seems deliberate to me. It's like a really odd choice. Yep, here you are. Welcome. Like, okay. But like on the island over yonder way, you got the big, it's almost like a pain in the butt, especially if you're trying to beat the grafted scion. You're like, it's a freaking door, having to open this door over and over again. Talk to our boy.
No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the round table hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
We don't seek glory. We do what we do for the good of the animals because we are vegan senpai. And, you know, your bloodletting habit, I'm concerned about. Bloodletting unwilling tarnished is wrong. Bloodletting unwilling tarnished is wrong. We can't fight that guy. Is there I don't think there's a way I could leave the animals alone. I'm sorry, Mr. Sheep. I didn't mean to bother you. I don't know if it's worth trying to liberate this horse from this tree sentinel or not. Oh no. My aim definitely isn't that good. I don't think I could. I'm definitely not like the guy to try. I don't think I could beat the sentinel without. Maybe I should have done some homework on. No. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to leave the tree sentinel alone. Kale, you should take off that big pack if you're not going to be riding him, I think. I think he'd be more comfortable if you took off these things. I'm not going to criticize you too much on your use of the burrow, but you should take that weight off of him at the very least. I mean, you have him in one of the greener, safer areas of the game, and he seems pretty protected. And I know you personally, Kale. I know you are a good guy. We've been through a lot together. And I know you love your donkey. And we just want to see what's best for the donkey. So I would like if you would consider taking the pack off whenever you're not mobile. Maybe you're like ready to go for like a quick escape. I get it, but maybe we could figure out a solution that's more comfortable for your donkey.
Tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat.
No, me never.
Wine of purchasing it or something.
I'm a vegan, actually, Kale.
Purveyor of fine goods.
Are all of Kale's goods? He uses these feathers on his letters, but he could find those. That seems probably like the easiest way to like get a feather is to find it. So that's probably fine. Those seem to be made of leather, but he doesn't seem to be a craftsman either. So I don't know if we're to assume that like Kale actually made these. He could just be finding them and reselling them, which is eco-friendly, I would think. It's like he is a purveyor of these goods, so he's like selling non-vegan products, but also he's like, we could look at him as a caretaker of these goods. And then you know what? We were talking about gold-tinged excrement earlier. And if the excrement is like still alive, is like leather still alive? Is it like still alive? Does it have a characteristic warmth? None of the item descriptions say that, but like if we, but like the Glomide Queen and the god skins, like skin people, skin gods. So maybe like skin doesn't like hold life essence or something. Maybe it's like a different thing. Maybe that's like in the flesh. And then it seems like bones might be a different thing. It seems like he maybe made this. I could believe him making this. But again, you know, leather's one of the... But, you know, we don't know how, like, death works in Land Between. We're going to give Kale a pass. Oh, that's definitely not vegan. That's a leather shield. But that's like a... Is that a... What kind of insignia is that? Is that Erdtree? It kind of reminds me of like the one that's like in the Erdtree cantations that has that. But yeah, I don't know if Kale made that. I don't know if Kale made any of this. I think he's like a reseller. I feel like that is the only thing we probably want to buy is the telescope, just in case I want to take a closer look at some stuff. But I don't have any monies. Where to go first? I should have thought this out better. We don't need torrent. No, 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 no. I don't know if I even really need that.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Leonard. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve but you, I am afraid, I can play the turning route to aid you in your you need own to the foot of the. Then it's
Okay.
summon me
Carpooling is eco-friendly.
to turn runes.
You brought the Accord, I'll drive.
I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent.
No, thank you, Melina.
Loosen you.
You know, that's nice of him and all, but I don't want to exploit the poor guy. So that was an awfully sweet gesture of him to do that, but I humbly decline because I would hate to put Torrent in harm's way. He's feel free for him. He can tag along, and I'll do my best to take good care of him. If you are unable to do so. Okay. Bye. I don't think we need the bell. Are spirit ashes vegan? Those don't seem vegan. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if summoning's vegan. Cause I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I can use summons. I don't think that's much of a problem, but if yeah, I mean, because you're like calling them here. Can they just be like, nah, fuck you, I don't want to do that? Oops, I need to watch my language. Can't they? No. I don't think they're vegan. I think you're pulling them here, and they're here on a limited basis, and maybe they feel compelled to fight. I don't know. I need to check the lore descriptions for if. Okay, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should stick to blunt weapons. Kind of like, was it like old priests carrying like shillelaghs around? Or like, is that like from the guy from Gangs of New York or something? I don't know if that's based on a real thing or not. I feel like I've seen this somewhere. Wasn't that? I feel like this is a thing. It's like not drawing blood, but they use blunt weapons to defend themselves. So I thinking that's what I got to get down there to get the wet blade probably, and I got to be a sneaky boy. Because I don't want it. There's doggies up here. I definitely don't want to fight them. And honestly, I can't be in here like coming in here just starting fights. That would be not very vegan of me. Oh no. Where? Oh no. Where to next? To activate the Radahn Festival, you have to get to the Altus Plateau, right? I think that's how that works. I did no homework before I started this. I was like, I'm going to do a vegan run. I think that is kind of funny, and it would let me talk about the things I want to talk about. But I didn't actually like plan it like a bit, and I was kind of hoping at least like one person would like come in. I figured if I streamed long enough, at least like one person would stumble in. But it's probably a pretty crowded space right now. There's probably a lot of really popular Elden Ring streamers. And a lot of newcomers as well. It's probably a pretty tough gig. I can't fight the bats. Oh man, like what am I gonna do? I gotta get to Radahn and I gotta beat him. And I can't kill any animals to do it. Vegan Senpai, what do we do? I should probably get... Should I get the fire wet blade? Is that going to be useful? Probably. I feel like there's a self-defense case to be made for the fire wet blade. Oh, I need the beast repellent torch. That's like a vegan playthrough tool. Like, we definitely need. But I need runes. Okay, we have a plan. I need runes. And we got to run around a lot to get them. Oh, man, those aren't even worth it. Because I usually just run over them with torrent. See, this really is the challenge part of the challenge run. Is like running around everywhere. Oh my gosh. This is gonna... I've seen people have to do this before. I need to plan my route here. Oh, there is a graveyard this way. Ah, I can't fight him. I'm not even that scared of him. I don't want to fight him right now, but I can't fight him because he has a horse. And I don't want to fight the horse. Oh, no. Mr. Sheep, that
Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me.
I know I'm supposed to keep the wildlife wild, but it sounds like there is a man in distress over here.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
This is a talking bush.
What'd you go and do that for?
I didn't think bushes could talk, and if I'm a vegan, and that was about to rattle my entire sense of belief and worldview, so I had to investigate this bush. I'm sorry if you are a bush, actually, Mr. Rodent Man.
Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree.
Oh, okay.
You were just breaking the spell, weren't
You actually aren't a tree.
you?
I can keep eating trees.
Was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come, and I ended up as a tree.
That's a sad story.
Lucky you came along, really.
I'm glad I could help.
Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned.
They didn't take your delightful hat, though.
That's my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
Oh my gosh, 10 mushrooms? How did you know I was a vegan? I'm a vegan. This is really useful, actually. I love mushrooms. They're full of all sort of good minerals and fiber, dietary fiber, maybe. They're full of good things, and I like mushrooms. Thank you, sir.
Afford to wait for a while. I would sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to trouble yourself, sir.
Right, but I'll need a moment.
Oh, don't.
My knees start knocking. Just thinking about that god-awful cave on...
Oh, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Poor guy. Oh, hey, look. Look at this beautiful sight. Mother Nature and its beautiful bounty of the Earth Tree blessing. Foul feet aren't vegan, though. I don't know why the emblem has to be a foul foot. I was going over here to rest and wait. There's a man with a horse over there, too. How do you knock people off? I think you can just like parry them. But I don't think I have a way to do that. I don't think I have a way to parry him. That was in the PETA thing. It was like you can show people that riding horses is wrong. But I don't think we're really equipped to do that right now. All right, let's do some cardio. Good day. No! Oh no! Oh no! I can't kill this. I can't kill the scarab. This might be a problem. I didn't even think that those are actual Insects. Oh my lord, this is... And even if... Oh no! Oh no! I mean, even if I had a projectile and I like shot the... I don't think that's vegan. Oh no! Oh no! I don't get spirit ashes. Only ones I find... Do you find any of those on there? The rats? But I can't use the rats. I mean, any ashes of war. Oh no! Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please. Sir? Sir? Excuse me, sir. Would you leave me alone, please? You know, if he treats other people like that, just imagine how he treats that poor horse. It's like weird walking up to this thing. I'm always like on the horse. Torrent's getting a break. A much deserved break. Talking about the most abused horses in Elden Ring, Torrent probably is, honestly, because of his relationship with the player character. I mean, I've ran Torrent off of a cliff probably 100 times, you know, just farming in Ordina. So, it's probably Torrent. Torrent's probably the most abused horse in Elden Ring, not gonna lie. And I don't think I can fight Darewell. Darewell's a Bloodhound Knight. But like I don't need to like go into his jail and like beat him up. So that doesn't seem very vegan or pacifist. And like, what even are the Bloodhound Knights? I'm not saying are they like animals as like a derogatory thing, but and I can't use the spirit springs. Maybe if I ask Torrent, Torrent wants to be here. Oh, I can't go that way. There's a dragonfly. And I don't want to jump down that anyway. I didn't rest at that side of grace, did I? Whatever. Oh, no. Sir, please, leave me alone. Please, quit riding that horse, sir. Riding horses is wrong. Oh my gosh. Oh no, this is where the wolves are. Oh no. And I can't even pick these up from the ground, can I? Okay. Good, good wolfies. Don't pay me no never mind. Okay. We have made still zero progress. We have yet to kill a single enemy. We have died once. It was a scripted death. Oh, we got 10 mushrooms. And we're vegan, so that's a big win. Actually. Count your blessings. We have food. Sun's out, fun's out. We're working on our tan. Oh no. We're just gonna run. Oh no, they got dogs in here. Uh-oh. Why did I even come up here? I thought this ran over. This was a bad idea. This game is so hard to navigate without torrent. Oh no, and there's a dragonfly over there. It'll die if I... Oh my gosh. It is so hard to get around. I'm getting my exercise, counting my blessings. I don't even think I need starlight shards. I don't think doing anything with Celavis is vegan. Or moral in any way. Okay, so these are worth it because this is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be slow going. Oh my gosh. Okay. My favorite spear dash is right down there, or one of them, and I can't get it. Oh, well, I guess I can if I go just get, that's not a blunt weapon. The Uchigatana from wherever that place is. Okay, now I go this way. I'm just all kinds of messed up with, without torrent. Just passing through, sir. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Dragonfly. Uh-oh. 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 I got 2 herba. That's good. Oh my lord. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Rude. Butterflies are not vegan. I can't grab those. And I have a habit of picking those up by accident.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please?
Oh, why yes, you may, honey buns.
From Castle Norman to the south. The
Oh, bless your heart.
never bowed.
Oh no.
I can't
You know, well maybe if you'd have worked on your relationship a little bit, maybe if it was less of a servant master
for howling from all over. My good
thing, maybe
to me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander. I fear servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul.
oh, that's not very vegan of them.
Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father at the castle? My soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please, I just want him to be safe.
Well, I mean, I guess if I see him, I think I'm heading that way. No, I'm not. Wait. I mean, I'm not making any promises, okay?
Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
Oh my, I didn't mean to. Sorry. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to step on your corpse. I didn't mean to defile your dead body like that. Oh, hey, look, a mushroom. And some roa fruit. Oh, wow, we're eating good. Oh, excuse me, sir. Oh, look, a dog. Oh, look, another dog. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh. Excuse me. Just passing through. Excuse me. Can somebody get your dog? Hey. Oh, hey, is that your dog? Can you get your dog? Sir. No, that's not my dog. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue my jog. You have a nice day. You know, I really wish these merchants would take these heavy looking packs off of these poor creatures. Just bless their little hearts. Look at those giant little ears. Look at that cute little face. Bless his heart. I mean, I know y'all are mostly let's see if this fellow has any his assortment of vegan goods, how vegan friendly this. So far so good. Scale armor. Made with treated rock lizard skin. It's a rock lizard. Have we seen those? But that's not vegan. Well-made leather trousers. Again, I don't know if we're to assume that this person is the craftsman of these trousers, or just the purveyor, the reseller. I don't know if this is a thrifting type deal. It kind of seems like it is. Like, that seems pretty old. And again, maybe they found the feather. I give this merchant a B+ rating on their veganism score. I guess we can go get that seed. This is going to be a pretty long run, even if we're just getting to Radahn. There we go. Ah, don't shoot. Can I farm the golems? I mean, they are they alive? There's some runes over here, aren't there? I don't even know if I want to walk through that. Is this toxic? Man, I'm missing our buddy. This is why it's so easy to exploit animals, you know? It's just so dang convenient. Oh my gosh. Hello, Mr. Crab. Check out the amazing wildlife in the man's between. What? Oh, Oh. No, no. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Did he shoot the crab? No. I, you know, I'm not sure if I should kill you or not. I don't know if you're alive. You could be like some sort of automaton gone astray. I could be preventing. So you almost shot that crab a second ago. You've tried to shoot me. I might be reducing suffering by destroying you. Are you organic? I don't know. Tough call. No, don't shoot me. Why did I even run down here to this grace? I did not need it. I feel like I don't know if there's not any like runes over here, are there? I don't remember what's down here. Some more of the amazing wildlife of the lands between, but we're going to admire from a distance because it's best to keep the wildlife wild. See, if I had had the runes at the time, this is whenever those binoculars or that monocular would have come in a lot of handy. Oh, I forgot about the guy. He's still down there. Sunflowers? How delightful. Oh no. Almost disturbed those poor doggies. I hope the stream looks okay. Like on the OBS, it says my connection is excellent. I know I should probably have a wired connection, but I don't really have a way to do that. Well, like if I, yeah, I think that seems like it's probably a connection thing. But I don't really know how to verify that. And it says my signal's excellent. I mean, I don't. I don't think it's vegan to fight that. This delightful young lady over here. Excuse me. Can I use this bridge, please? Uh-oh. Thanks for letting me use the bridge. Well, they have a tree growing out of them. Are you vegans too? I'm just, passing through. There was a rune up there. Is that a graveyard down there? I know there's a couple that have flowers near them. I don't think so. I think there's another tier I missed. Back. Oh no, it says the stream died. Okay, so this might be a good time to like end the stream, I guess. And maybe maybe I'll come back tomorrow, or maybe I'll try to figure out a way to get a better connection back here. This was a good trial start, and even if I have to abandon it for a couple of days while I figure something out, it should be okay. I've learned a little bit about the workflow of how to try to go about doing this and getting in and out. It's not a day wasted. And we only died 2 times. I mean, that's pretty good. But we also haven't, I don't think, killed a single enemy, and have hardly picked up any runes at all. So, yeah, super productive day. And I guess I'll end it here, because it doesn't seem like my connection's getting any better. So if anybody comes along and watches this, thanks. This might be a good time to like end the stream, I guess. And maybe maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to figure out a way to get a better connection back here. This was a good trial start, and even if I have to abandon it a couple of days while I figure something out, it should be okay. I've learned a little bit about the workflow of how to try to go and getting in and out. It's not a day wasted. And we only died 2 times. I mean, that's pretty good. But we also haven't, I don't think, killed a single enemy, and have hardly picked up any runes at all. So, yeah, super productive day. And I guess I'll end it here, because it doesn't seem like my connection's getting any better. So if anybody comes along and watches this, thanks.